welcome to Scrappin with Sheri and project recipe 11. Today I'm just going to go totally off the rails because I'm not even really going to look at the measurements we've got going on here. I've looked at the sketch and it looks very easy, so that's what I'm going with today. So let me show you what I've pulled. I've pulled 2 background papers, and these are from the I Am So Grateful collection, or I Am Grateful to, something like that. But these are going to be my background papers. If you can notice this, I've pulled some high contrast. These are going to be the stripes here, and they're supposed to be wider than a 4x6 photo, but I've got a scrap piece, so I'm going to be halving that. And then there are 2 borders down each side. So I have pulled these. Here again, I'm looking at contrast. I pulled this blue to match the inner part of this, but I wanted something with some pretty good contrast to go on these backgrounds. And then there are circles here that I'm going to be using my circle maker for rather than my circle cutting system. So let's cut borders first. And I'm going to do that with this border cartridge called Starry. This is an attached cartridge where they used a detached one, but I have in mind what I'm doing with this, and so this is what I wanted to go with. We'll see how it turns out. And I'm going to do my cuttings first, and then we'll lay this out. Now here again, this is not one that I have pictures for, so we're designing another page that will just have no pictures. And I think I told you the other day, I have discovered that they look so much better with pictures on them. It's just that I am running out of pictures currently. I have debated going back and pulling some of my in-laws' older pictures, some of the black and whites, and working on them, because some of you have asked about black and whites, but I just can't decide yet if it's a project I'm wanting to tackle. So I'm in a quandary, so I'll just keep pre-making some pages until I figure out where I'm headed with this. And I've told you before, it's so much easier if you will use one tool for everything you've got to use it for before you pull out another one. So I've done borders on both sides of my paper, and I'm through with my border maker system right now. So I can empty these scraps off and be done with that. If I took the time to go back and cut in between, that just involves getting a tool out, putting it back, getting it out, putting it back. And I do know for these circles here, I want this paper to be my outside. Again, I'm going for some contrast here. And I'm going to use the blue for the inside. So when I looked at the directions here, it tells me what patterns to cut it with if I'm using my custom cutting system. But on the back it shows me I need a 5-inch circle for the inside and a 5 1/4 for the outside. So if that's my outside, I'm going 5 1/4. Now let me show you this handy dandy circle maker. There are measurements on one side of it, and here's the 5, but it's not broken down into quarters or halves or whatever. So when I start to cut, I'm going to be looking at going just a little bit past the 5. I'm going to go 1 tick past the 5. These are actually in feet, like 2/10. I think that's right. I think that's the right way to say it, because there are 5 little ticks in between. So I'm going to go 5 and 1 tick. That's the easiest way I know to say that. And then when you do the circle cutter, you mash down on the middle, and I'm rotating to make sure I'm staying on my paper. But you're going to push this white button to engage the blade, and then just rotate and cut. And that seems really, really, really large. Let's see, when I'm looking though, it's covering up almost a 6x4 photo, so I guess that's not really, really, really large. Now let's do a little bit smaller one on our blue. So I'm going to go down to the 5-inch, and I'm lining this line up with the 5-inch mark, and then I just tighten up using that white wheel. And this one I'm going to cut in the middle of this blue to leave me plenty of room to cut off my borders. because these are attached borders. Now, if you've got this circle maker and you have not played with it, shame on you. You need to be playing with it. It's got a lot of capabilities, and I have only scratched the surface with it, but I really do like it when I'm not using it on photos. I have a much harder time using it on photos because I can't seem to get it exactly centered, and that's really hard for me. So I made my attached border, and I'm going to go out. I'm trying to figure out how far out I want this. I'm going to go out to 1.5 inches. So the tops of these points are at 1.5 inches. Yeah, I think that's going to work. And I only tell you that because I need to do both of them about the same width. These are going on the outside edges of my paper. And I do want those kind of a standard size. So we have our circle cut. We have these borders cut. I'll show you what I'm going to do for the second border in a second. But I need these pieces of paper here. And that's what I wanted to use this for. Now, if you look at the sketch, at the recipe, it says that it needs to be 4.5 inches wide. Well, my paper is not wide enough for that. My paper is only about 8 inches wide. So I'm going to go with a 4-inch border on that. Now here again, this is an opportunity where you can make these recipes work for you, because you may not have exactly what you need size-wise, but you maybe want to use up some scraps, which is what I have tried to do a lot of lately. So I think this is going to work just fine for us. Let me scoot that to the side and lay this out. This one I'm going to tape together and cut in a minute. And I'm going to take my stars towards the inside of this border, I think. Nope, they're going to the outside so we can see the blue on the outside edge. And I'm going to go ahead and tape those down so I can show you where I'm headed next with this. Now I am using my regular tape on this because I've got this big wide border I can tape down. And I'm going to take the stars real close to the outside edge. I don't want to really take up a lot of space on my page with this border, but I do want a little bit of that blue showing just to make it, just to make some contrast on the outside edge. We'll do the same over here. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but my background sheet is pretty wrinkled. For some reason, it got kind of stuffed in my bag. And it's a little wrinkly, so I'm hoping that we're covering up the most wrinkledy spots using our decorations. And this, I'm going to slide right up against that. This paper is from the You Quack Me Up collection. Just a really pretty collection. It's got lots of oranges, yellows, blues, got some ombre in there, but I do love a good plaid. A good plaid will let you draw in just about anything you want. And then I found these stickers that I had put back. These were from Welcome Home, I think, a long time ago, but I thought these would be really cute and would provide us some brown contrast on here to go along with what I cut out as far as my circle was concerned. I just think these are a cute little sticker. And that's covering up my seam there. So what are you thinking so far? I'm kind of liking this. And let's go ahead and tape this together. And then I will cut it in half. And then we'll see where else we need to go with this, because I think we're almost finished. And I am going to cut this in half using my big 12-inch trimmer, just because this is so great for cutting a circle in half. You can kind of let your circle fall in the little ditch right here. And once you get your circle to fall evenly in that ditch and you cut, you've got two pieces that are the same size. So I love that aspect of our 12-inch trimmer. So when I'm looking, we've got a circle here, a circle here. I'm taking those a little closer to the tops and bottoms than they did. They left a lot of extra space there. And then basically the rest is just photos. And I think just for spacing purposes, I'm going to go ahead and put photo mats here and here, but probably not anywhere else. So let's see if I've got a 6-inch right here. I do. So I'm going to cut my mat 6x4 because there's usually very little that I can't cut off to make a 4x6, 6x4. And we are going to put those two mats down just to let us add our circles in a good spot. Now what I'm going to do with this circle is kind of put my tape here. And then line up my mat on it where I like it. Trying to keep my background showing about the same width side to side. Now remember, my background is smaller than theirs. So when you look at the sketch, they just did the photos instead of mats. They're still a little bit showing, but not quite as much as I have. And then we're going to do the opposite one. I think I'll go ahead and stick this one down. That just seemed to work okay. Checking the spacing side to side. And I can tell part of the reason they left theirs, their circle down a little further is because some of their embellishments hung down. They actually used another strip of their border to do that, but I didn't necessarily need that. All right, so how beautiful is this? And so very quick. Now I am going to add some embellishments because I came up with some things I thought were really cute. Now I have this, and I'm not sure exactly where I want it, but right here they've got this little bitty area that they've put an embellishment in. I think I don't want it there because I have room for a big picture there, but I like this. I like it on this blue, and I'm thinking that might be a good space to take it. Now when I get ready to use this, this could be a journaling box. It could end up being a smaller photo. There are lots of options for this little box, but I love the way that the browns are all tying in together. I also had pulled some of these embellishments from the Welcome Baby Blue, I think it's called, just because I thought they were cute, and I want us to see how we can use them. I also pulled this little elephant. I thought he was cute. It has the brown background. He's kind of a bluey gray, but I thought that this might be something good that I could actually cut a photo and add on here as well. So I think I'm going to slide this mat over this direction, and I'm actually going to put it down with repo tape in case I change my mind on that later once I get pictures. But again, it still gives me room here for another photo if I choose to do that. So I was looking at the cute little mobile, and I thought that would be pretty. And you know I'm going to foam square that. And I'm going to have it hanging kind of from the top of everything. Kind of overlapping the edge of the circle and the edge of the picture, but it's not taking up so much that it'll be a problem there. With that, because the little stars are in there, I thought Twinkle Twinkle Little Star would be cute there. So I'm going to add that kind of over to the side here. Some little star punches would be really cute in there. And I was going to say I have them all out of this border right here, but they wouldn't show up, so that doesn't help me at this point. I did like this with the date, time, inches, and I think a lot of people think that this means you got to do it as soon as they're born, but what about all those monthly checkups they have when they weigh them and measure them and all that? I think it would work for baby for that as well. I'm not sure where I want to put it. Oh, maybe there. I do have to be mindful, though, that I have decor here, here. I need some here, so I can pull it up there. And that makes your eye bounce across your page with your decorations. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I've got the little toys. And I'm good with those. I had pulled the little rainbow just because it matched. Don't necessarily think I have to use it. So that's out for now. Let's just add these other two embellishments. That one's a little big for that. Let's do a little tiny one. I love all the blues and browns together. I just think that is absolutely beautiful. I think I am going to slide that all the way over here. And then that particular pack also came with some epoxy kind of stickers. So there are some stars on there that I wasn't looking at earlier, but how cute are they? We can add a couple of stars. Down here we could add a couple of hearts. I could do some journaling here if I need to. I like these epoxy stickers. I just think they have a nice look to them. And I do like to cluster those. And then let's go ahead and put a little cloud right up here. All right. So what do you think of that? I'm pretty pleased with the look of this. This is Project Recipe 11. We did it sort of like a sketch where we didn't really look at all these cutting guides on the back. We just kind of made it our own. But I love the look of it. I think that's really pretty. I like the way the star border goes with the stars here and the twinkle twinkle. I love having all the little toys on there. I love the browns with the blues. I love everything about this page. And I hope you do too. So look at these project recipes. See if you can just wing it. Just look at it and pull out the stuff that works for you, the things that you have, and see what you can do. And until I see you next time, happy scrapping.